Hi, welcome. I'm Chrissy. Today I'm doing a little painting. It's a nice little scene, I thought, and I've gone with some nice pastel colours. So I'm going to build this up in layers and gradually build my scene up in thin layers. I like to use thin layers because it applies mainly to most of my artwork. But anyway, we'll watch the video and see. So here I'm just putting the nice sky in as the backdrop. And obviously I'm going to apply the wolf. And I want him to be in keeping with the background, so I need him soft as well. So I'll show you how we do that as we get further on in the video. So I'm just using these nice pinks and purples, and I've just started off with a pale yellow background, which could start off with a mid-tone grey if you want, to just plain white canvas. I just thought these colours sat nicely on the yellow background. So I blended all them together, just a soft blend. I didn't want to go over mad, so you could still leave some little edges, but soft blend it out as much as you can. I hope you enjoy this, guys. If you do, you can leave me a like. Appreciate that. So I'm moving into the mid-ground now, so I'm just doing it with the pale white. So I've just got a bit of white and a bit of lemon yellow into that. Just giving it a nice soft feel. Like I say, I want the wolf not to stand out because he's not totally in the foreground, so he's in the mid-ground. So I'm going to try not to go for too much detail, because more detail you have in, it has to be more in the foreground of your painting, obviously. So it's like in the mid-ground. So I'm still using them nice pastel colours, so they're my distant hills. I've just gone a bit darker in the foreground there on the hillside that he's stood on, because that's more in the foreground, so you can see that more, you're more close up. That's just a nice indigo blue there I've mixed with a little bit of ultramarine. So I'm going to let all that dry and I'm going to block my wolf in. So I'm just using a nice Payne's grey, the really dark values. And for the lighter values, I've just added a little bit of white. Well, this was a lovely scene. You could have painted anything on here, really. You could have painted an eagle or any animal, if you like. I just wanted to go with a wolf today. I think they're nice, majestic animals. I like wolves. Or you could have just done a mountain scene. You didn't really have to apply an animal if you're not into painting animals as such, but I am, so here we are. As you can see, I'm just using a little brush because I don't want to get too much detail on the wolf as yet, because I've got plenty of layers to do. And I'm just using an airbrush. Now you don't have to use an airbrush on this, but I've got one, so I thought I'd use it just to make it a bit more simplified and a bit faster. But you could just use buff titanium and some water and thin it out and just go over it with a nice glaze. I won't go titanium white, that's a bit white, too bright. Or you could use mixing white as well. But I dry brush it myself, really, just to make it a bit more mystified if you're using a brush. So as you can see, I'm covering most of the background, the mid-foreground, sorry, with the airbrush, because I want that to look really distant. So I do want the wolf to stand out, but not totally in your face as such, because he's not actually in the front of the picture. So I've done a few layers. It does dry quick when you're airbrushing, so by the time you've done one side and come back, it's pretty much dry. You to do another layer. Like I say, you can use a brush and dry brush it on. Or you could just do a thin glaze, in fact, as well, and let it dry in between each layer. Multiple ways of doing it, which is all good fun, whatever you prefer to do. So I've come back to my little detail brush again, so I'm just going to put some values into the wolf. I'm not really concerned about the colour as such yet. I just want to get the darks and lights correct. I'm just going with these little purple tones and blues over the darker grey, the Payne's grey. It's going to be a white wolf, but we don't want to go in with total white, or else he'll just look flat. Got to build him up and make him three-dimensional. You can see I'll to and fro here, putting my values in, taking them out, going back, putting them back in. So that's what you're looking for really, your values. But if you lose your way, it's easy to correct. You just let it dry, come back in. Obviously have a good reference photo to check, because that'll show you what you need to do with your lights and darks and shadows and shadings. I've gone a bit darker this side because obviously he's more in shadow at the back end. But I want him to fit into that nice pastel misty background. Like he's there, but he's not really there, you know what I mean? You can see him, but not totally clear. He likes to be camouflaged. I've got my little filbert brush here. Now it's a long-handled filbert, and I hold it way down the handle. That's to stop your brain from taking control and trying to do detail. If you keep your hand further down, that should stop you from to do the fine details that you can see, which we don't want. So we just want the impression of the wolf there, not over detailed. Like we're not doing first strokes and things like that. You can see here I've gone in with the white. Well, it's the off-white. It's tinted a little bit with some purple. You can see I've gone back and done the darks again. Come back over with another lighter colour. So what you have to do, to and fro, till you get it how you want it to look. Don't get disheartened halfway through thinking, oh, it's not working out. Just take a break and then come back to it and look at it again. And you think, oh yeah, I can see what I need to do, and you just crack on, yeah? It's all about patience. And don't get too finicky on the details. I mean, I love to do details because I like doing animals. But on this particular painting, it wasn't the case. Just wanted the impression of the wolf just fitting in to the scene that's surrounding him. Obviously, if you're a close-up face of a wolf, a portrait, then yeah, you put all the details in. Like the gorilla I did on my channel, that really close-up. You can see all the details on that one. Done a few actually. They'll be all in the animal playlist. And the tiger, that were another one. And a panther, that were another one, that were close up. So it's good to do detail work if you're into doing detail work, and it's good to do a nice loose painting like this. It's just impressionistic style. More realism though than totally impressionistic. But still without the detail. It makes it semi-realistic, in my opinion. So I've gone back in with that purple again, just to do the shadows once again. Obviously try and let it dry as much as you can, and then you're not just smudging it all in together, because you'll lose all your values again, you see. You'll have to put them all back in. But because I'm doing multiple layers here, I'm only using thin coats of paint. So I'll have a little bit of glazing medium on and a tiny little bit of paint. I usually mix it and then dab it off and then start painting the subject. I'm going back in round his face again. Which is good because I enjoy this process, watching it come to life, and you think, yeah, I put all these layers on, yeah, we're worth it. I mean, a lot of people don't have patience. They like to do that more looser style. Well, that's good as well. It's whatever you feel like painting on the day, I suppose. Everybody has a different view, don't they, of art? I thought this was soothing and nice to look at. Nice soft colours, nice wolf. Gone back to my little flat brush just to get some more tints and shades on. So I'll have glazing medium on it as well. And back in again. This is what I'm saying about building up a subject. You've got to be patient. Build it up with your lights, your darks, go back in with your lights again, then your darks again, until you're happy with the end result. It's all a process. The more you do it, more you get more professional at it, more you enjoy it. That's what I think anyway. It's just like an evening feel to it, hasn't it? With the sun, the sun's just gone down behind the mountains, and he's just looking out yonder there, wondering what to do next. I'm tinting it with some blue there as well. I hope you enjoyed this, and thanks for watching, and check out my next videos, and I'll see you again soon. Thanks, bye.